Hey class, picking up where we left off, you can now see that we have our porch columns and our railings in place. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start placing openings for doors and windows. But again, this is Revit, so we're actually just going to be placing doors and windows, and the openings will happen. So let's go back to level 1. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to right-click and rename level 1 to first floor. It's going to ask me to rename my corresponding level and view. I'm going to say yes. Then I'm going to rename this second floor instead of level 2. I'm going to say the same thing, yes. Now level 4, I'm going to rename, I'm not going to call that roof. And when this, well, that doesn't come up because I've already broken the name from roof. It's called top of wall in one of my elevations. So I've got top of wall is the same as roof. So let's go back to the first floor plan. We're going to place our entry door. And it's the same entry door as last week's assignment. So if you remember correctly, that was door. And we didn't have the correct door, so we had to load family. I'm going to navigate up back to US Imperial, doors, residential, door exterior, single entry, half flat glass wood clad. Click open. And we want the same size as last week even. It's a 3 foot by 7 foot door. We're going to open that door and we're going to place that door here. Now, I was looking at the dimensions on the final deliverable. Now, it was 6'6" from the exterior edge, but that's actually to here. So now I can go back in. I could spend the time to do this now if I wanted to, or I could simply get the window in here and then put in the dimensions. So let's go ahead and put the window here. Now you'll notice I did not get the swing right here, so I'm going to flip this inside and flip it that way so that the swing's correct. I'm going to move this dimension a little further off of my door to clean it up. Now I need to create a window. Now on this first week assignment, or I should say week 9 assignment, but on this first floor plan, we are only going to do individual windows. We're going to wait to do the mold windows on the west side of the building next week. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go to window, and our window type is a double hung window, just like last week's assignment, only the size is not available here. And I know for a fact that it's also not available in our library, so we can't load it. So we're going to pick the 30 by 46 window, and we're going to edit the type. So we come down here to our height and our width, and our width is 32 inches, or 2'8", and our height is 54 inches, or 4'6". So we hit OK. Well, again, I've done it again. I should have duplicated this. I'll rename it now that I've already changed the sizes. Luckily, I don't have any of these in my drawing. I haven't been following my best practices. So 32 inch by 54. Hit OK. Hit OK. Now we're going to place this window here. Again, I hover over the exterior face of the wall because it places the exterior side of the window. To double check that, I select the window and I see the flip mark on the correct side. Now I can do what I was saying, where I can come in, I can dimension these. Hit escape, select the window, and now I can use, well, sorry, I've got to select the window and hit activate dimensions first. Now I can use my dimension as a temporary dimension, which is 4'8". I was only a ½ inch off by eyeballing it. So now that window's in the right place. Now, the one thing I did not check when I was placing this was my head height. The default sill height for these are 3 feet. So that means my head height's 7'6". If I go to a south elevation, you can see that this window is above, the window head is above the door head. So I need to come over here and change my head height to be 7 feet. And now that window's in the right spot. So let's go back to the first floor. I'm not going to show the placement of all these windows. All of the individual windows are this type. The dimensions are shown on the final deliverable. And all of their head heights are 7 feet. So I'm going to jump into the interior doors because I need to load some of those. So let's go again to door. Oops. And we're going to load family. Now we need a interior double pocket 2-panel wood. We also need a double sliding 2-panel wood. So if you hold Control, you can select multiple families to load. And we also need a interior single 2-panel wood. So we need those 3 families, and we're going to load them all at once. Hit open. And we need, if we select the interior single 2-panel, which one's what? That's a pocket door. It's hard to see this, and it doesn't allow you to, oh, here we go. So that's interior single, oh, sorry, no, that's the single panel. So that we need a 2'6" by 7 foot. So we're going to find that here, 30 by 84. Hit OK. And I kind of messed up because that did not allow me to select all the types that I wanted. So let me go back here to door, see what we have loaded. Well, we know we got the 30 by 84 single panel. So one of those goes here. Now you'll notice when I hover, the dimensions are the same, and that means it's on the right. It's located in the center, so it's in the right location. I can create similar. I can come here, click, hit the flip button to get my swing in the right direction. I'm also using a 2-foot door here. That's a little bit different than my AutoCAD version of this house, but I think a 2-foot door probably works a little bit better here. I can adjust this again so that it's not touching either of these. Well, it cuts that off just a little bit. Although what I can do here, as shown in the final deliverable, I can select this closet door, come up to my properties and change my swing angle to 45. And what that does is it gives me a little bit more room for this dimension to my wall. Notice I've also, in this version, I've also made this closet a little bit deeper. I think in our AutoCAD version it was a smaller closet. So now I want to create my door. Interior 2-panel. Now the only problem is we don't have a type for this, so I'm going to have to go back and load this. I guess I should have loaded these individually. So interior sliding 2-panel, and I want a 4-foot by 7-foot door. So now that I have that loaded, I can grab 4-foot by 7-foot, and that is the closet door here. Again, the AutoCAD version, this was a swing door. Here, it's a sliding door. That's simply because this was easier to pick out of the library. Finally, I'm going to go to door. I want this one, this pocket door. Oops. Let me go back here. Load family, find that sliding double pocket 2-panel, and for that we want a 5-foot by 7-foot door, and that one goes here. And finally, oh, the other one I didn't load before was door, and we want a single pocket door. So let's find that. We have to load family. Door interior, single pocket 2-panel. And that we want, again, a 2'6" by 7-foot door. And that's our bathroom door right here. Now you can see that that is sliding the wrong way. That's sliding the right way. Might also, now notice I have a little bit of room. I don't have much room here for any trim. I can use the arrow tools. I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to I call this nudging. That's what they call it in some other programs. And I'm going to nudge that until I have 4 inches here. Now the other thing that I've done in the final deliverable is if you select these doors, these pocket doors, you can choose it here in the properties whether the panel is open or closed. So I show them as open. So panel, open, apply. I'm going to place this door using dimensions, so I'm going to drop these dimensions that I'm going to have to get in here anyway. Oops, I believe I used the wrong door size. What did I grab here? That's interesting. It says its width is 5 feet, but it's showing me 4 feet there. Nope, never mind, that's correct. I don't know what I was looking at. So to change this dimension here, and I don't know why they stack up like that, I can type 7 feet 8. And that wasn't the right one, it's the 7'9" one here. That's somewhat annoying when the temporary dimension is so close to your actual dimension. You have to just make sure you pick the right one. I still didn't pick the right one. 7 feet 8. I'll get it right. There we go. So that locates that door. We've got this door located. This one I kind of just eyeballed, and these two are centered. Real quick, before we move on, we're going to just do the X to indicate that this is an open area, open to below. That's what we're going to do. To do that, that's going to be what we call a detail line. It's just a line that shows up only in this view. If you go to the Annotate tab, and this is generally, if you were to draw something in Revit, this is how you would do it. You do it with detail lines. This is a 2-dimensional line that only shows up in this view. We're going to click that detail line button, and then you choose the style. We want this to be a thin line. You have wide, thin, and medium, and some other types of lines, line types. I'm just going to choose a thin line, and I'm just going to draw an X in that space. So we'll pick up here in the next video.